time for the 49ers Rush podcast.
Qwuantrezz Knight, by far one of my favorite players. You know, last year's undrafted free agent class, there were two guys that just stood out clearly to me. Jordan Mason, the running back, he had his opportunity to flash because of injuries. And then on the defensive side, Qwuantrezz Knight, Q Knight, Trez, Quan, whatever you want to call him. Dude is energetic as all get out. And when it's very rare that you get players' personalities that are so influential, and that translates to the tape. And you can see players' personality on the All-22. That's rare. Qwuantrezz Knight has that. Now, the issue with Qwuantrezz Knight, he just needs a spot. That's it. He just needs a spot. Dominated in camp, was, led the team in interceptions last year in training camp. He goes, the joint practices with Minnesota, gets a pick, it plays incredible, all freaking preseason. Just hasn't got a shot yet. The depth chart is his biggest nemesis. So let's go through. Let's learn a little bit about this player that we had him number 82 last year. Okay? He's 56 now. We haven't seen him in the regular season. Why would he jump so much? The film, the analytics, the personality, who he is on and off the field, which we're going to jump into. And I think whenever you walk away from today's show, you're going to realize, preseason, you watch number 43. When 43 is on the field, watch him. Just trust me, and you're going to walk away with a smile on your face. Now, I want to give credit to Josh, the 49ers guru, background research on today's episode as we get to know Qwuantrezz Knight. So, who is this kid? He wears jersey number 43. He's a nickel/outside/safety guy. I think nickel's his best spot, but safety, I think he could play there too. Outside corner, though, you look at his metrics, 6'2". What have I said 50 times? What is the ideal height and weight for a 49ers defensive back? 6 foot, 200 pounds. This dude is the Madden created character whenever it comes to those traits. Now, arm length, 29 3/4 inch arms. That's a huge issue playing outside corner. Doesn't mean he can't do it. Just means several teams, this is probably the main reason why he was an undrafted free agent. If you're a trait-specific team, especially at the cornerback position, that's an issue. He's going to be 25 years old this year. Ran a 4.61 40. Not ideal. A little bit slower than most. 7.13 cone. That's pretty good shiftiness. 34-inch vertical. Okay. 9'8" broad jump. That's all right. And so he's entering into his second season. And again, the traits aren't elite. The height and weight is, but the arm length, the speed, all that stuff, that's not what makes him what he is. And whenever you watch the tape, those aren't the things that flash. What flash are instincts, attitude, perseverance, and just willingness to always do what needs to be done. Now, he grew up in Maryland, played at Gadsden County High School for the Jaguars, and he has traveled considerably. He committed to Maryland, and then you went to Kent State, integrated studies degree at Kent State there, got his master's in education at UCLA, communications and transformative coaching and leadership. Now he's currently working on his graduate school at University of Cal. This kid checked the boxes as far as intelligence goes. He's top of the crop, man, and he's won awards for such things as well. But began his career at Maryland, transferred to Kent State after 3 seasons at Maryland. Then after 1 season at Kent State, went to UCLA, where he was with Chip Kelly. And he credits Chip Kelly, which I know the Niners usually look at him in a negative light for sure. But he said, Chip Kelly taught him what it meant to actually be a professional in this game, and what that looks like, and his practices. And he's been able to incorporate that. And I think he's a locker room guy. Again, if you want to know what Qwuantrezz Knight means to the 49ers, he was the practice squad player of the year. Him and Jason Poe on the offensive side, practice squad players of the year. Showed up, did their job. Were they out there on the field on Sundays? No, but he's the type of guy that's going to give the offense looks that they need to improve. And so Kyle Shanahan, I can guarantee you, loves this dude. I mean, he's so fun. Now, we go back to what he's accomplished just with, all of his stuff from, high school to college and all that stuff. He was a 3-time all-county performer. He was named the Robert Jackson Player of the Year as a junior when he passed. That's right. He played quarterback in high school, passed for 1,700 yards, 11 touchdowns, also ran for over 504 touchdowns. In addition, on the defensive side, 38 tackles, 3 interceptions, 12 pass breakups. That was 1 year. I mean, he's just a football player who happens to play defensive back. He was coached by Corey Fuller, the NFL former player, and his father is a correctional officer, and he credits, just the discipline and waking up early and always being consistent with all those things to his dad, just watching his work ethic, which I think is really, really important. And, you go to his time, Pac-12 honor roll. He won the Jerry Long Award at UCLA, which goes to the player with the most heart. And you just listen to him talk. There's, the 49ers put out, they went to one of the soccer games. I don't know the team exactly, and I apologize about that. But just type in Qwuantrezz Night 49ers, and the video pulls up on YouTube, and you can see his personality around his teammates. Everybody just flocks to this guy. The best thing the closest I've come to explaining like Qwuantrezz's attitude, he reminds me so much of Chad Ochocinco without all the jokes and without the kind of goofing around stuff. But he's that type of gravity type personality. A athletic director's honor roll in 2021 at UCLA. I mean, the dude's got it. So he started 12 games his last year at UCLA at the nickel position, which I think is probably the cleanest route or the best position for him in the NFL. And he's just a fan favorite already. And what he did in camp last year was awesome. Play style, love for the game, fits everything that the 49ers are all about. Now, if we look at Qwuantrezz's collective college stats, through his 3 locations, Maryland, Kent State, and UCLA, 219 tackles, 25 tackles for loss. Nickel blitz, if you want a nickel blitzer, Qwuantrezz Knight is the ideal build and makeup and attitude that you want. He plays behind the line of scrimmage. He led UCLA in tackles and tackle for losses as a nickel. 5 career sacks, 7 pass breakups, 1 fumble recovered, 2 forced fumbles, 1 touchdown. Now, what's weird is that he had 0 college interceptions, which would say, man, ball skill's just not his thing. But you go watch him in training camp, he led the team in picks in team drills. He goes against the Vikings and gets an interception in 11-11 full pad joint practices. So, small window in the NFL, for sure. I understand that, and he hasn't done it in a game yet. But, man, the way you practice is the way you play. Now, the film that we have on him, which, hey, we got 57 defensive snaps and 9 special team snaps in the preseason. Here's what jumped out to me. Instincts, reactions, jump off tape. Loves to hit, plays physical every single way as a defensive back throughout the route, taking on blocks, contact. He's not a guy that wants to watch the pile, which is rare for defensive backs. Top end speed's a concern. We said that 4.6, 140, it's not the end of the world, but in the slot position or a safety, I think that's where it's going to kind of keep him. And he just has the it factor for toughness. That's just what it is. He said... He was asked in a podcast, I forget the name of it. It was a UCLA podcast, but he was asked, what is it that makes you different? And he said, toughness and overcoming adversity. And that's what he's doing now. He's buried on the depth chart. Let's just be very, very honest. He is buried on this depth chart. But every opportunity that he has had, he has come through. You look at the 3 preseason games, 59 snaps, he did not allow 1 catch. Shout out to Jordan Elliott for finding that one. A 39.6 NFL rating when targeted. I know it's a small sample size, but he's showing his PFF scores in those 3 preseason games last year. 63.6 on defense overall, decent. 56.6 run, that could be better. He had 1 missed tackle. 53.4 tackling and a 64.1 coverage. Those are not terrible numbers for an undrafted free agent in the first preseason. But the thing that was incredible, he had 5 solo stops in the preseason on just 6 tackles, which tells you this dude can do his damn job in the run game. That is checked off the box. Again, 49ers practice squad player of the year, him and Jason Poe. Now, let's talk about the nickel depth chart, because I think that's his clearest path to playing time. But when the Niners went out and paid to get Isaiah Oliver, that bumped him off the 53. We have him here at 56. And so is he going to make that initial 53-man roster? I don't know. I want him to. He just needs a chance. But the numbers would say no, because you got Isaiah Oliver starting. Samuel Womack is starting all 3 corner spots, or he's the backup for all 3 corner spots currently, and then Qwuantrezz Knight. So if there's an injury to any corner, then I think that bumps him up, because if an outside corner went down, Samuel Womack would probably go start there. Qwuantrezz Knight would then be the backup to the slot position. I don't know if they want Qwuantrezz Knight to start on the outside. They might, but nickel seems to be the spot. He could also be involved in the safety depth chart, but he'd be even more behind the 8 ball there. So he just needs a shot. That's it. Not that we're hoping for injuries ever for any team. I don't even want injuries for the Dallas Cowboys, and I hate them. That's not what we're saying here. But when you look at the pathway to playing time, it's going to take a little bit more time for Qwuantrezz Knight to get his shot. But once he does, I'm telling you right now, when preseason tape is on and we're watching that, watch number 43. That's what he wears. He's number 56 for us, one of the biggest risers of the year, and he's going to be around for a while. Excited to see what this kid can do. Just needs his shot. It's going to do it for us today. We'll just keep counting them down here on the 49ers Rush podcast.